Keep calm and wallop me. Push up. Fine, we're getting into this bit of the game. He's a fucking missile. I'm 100%. This is, yeah? We're going in here 100%. I'm going into this fight 100% Conor McGregor. Not 92. 100% Conor McGregor. So it has to be really meticulous. We were right there with the last one. As a unit, we do it, right? Let's go, let's go.
I think Conor's coming back because he just got something to prove to himself. Yeah, he did some great things, but he didn't really check the box on MMA yet. He has some unfinished business. Unfortunately for him, you got to see me first.
Max is my child. When we first competed, I sunned him. I'm going to go in and sun him again. These men are not on my level. It is on me now to go and show that. And that's what I will do. I'm going to shoot Max. It...
2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, big one.
Conor McGregor's road to UFC 329 has taken a shocking turn. His latest training camp looks completely different, and many believe something bigger is happening behind the scenes. But that's not the biggest surprise. Max Holloway has just sent a chilling message to Conor that has fans talking everywhere. Is it confidence or a warning before fight night? Meanwhile, Joe Rogan and several MMA experts have shared bold opinions about McGregor's comeback, and not everyone believes he'll return the same fighter. The real story is even more surprising.
He's saying is about what he's going to do in the cage. He says he's going to sun you. He says he's going to go right through you. He's not looking past you. He's looking through you.
He got to say what he got to say, right? Whatever gets him to the octagon Saturday night, he can keep telling him that. You keep telling yourself that. Just please show up come Saturday night, and that's it, Conor got the gift of gab. He loved talking. Maybe he's talking to get himself ready, and I support it 100%. Me, Max Best Hollow, support this message. Keep talking what you got to talk, and I'm glad. I can't wait to see you come Saturday night here in Las Vegas. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see. A lot of people keep counting Conor out, which is insane to me. You know what I mean? I mean, look, like they was counting Conor out because of the 5 years, and they're like, oh yeah, but the 5 years he got to rest. In my mind, and people is like, no, but like you see him partying, you see him doing all this, like, bro. People are not following around him 24/7, with a camera. So you really don't know what he's doing. Just because they're putting out the bad stuff of him, we don't know about the good stuff, And I know this just because every time in camp when I'm playing video games for like 2 hours out of the day, everybody like, you gotta be training after all my training. So at the end of the day, I'm getting ready for a dangerous Conor McGregor. I think it's gonna be a healthy Conor McGregor. I think it's gonna be the best version we ever saw. And that's the things that excite me. That excites me. The best Conor McGregor I get to see come July 11th. And when I go out there and do the things that I know I can and will do to him, it's going to be a great night.
While Conor McGregor continues making bold statements ahead of UFC 329, Max Holloway refuses to get distracted by the hype. Instead of engaging in the trash talk, Holloway is focused on one thing: fight night. He isn't expecting a rusty or diminished McGregor. In fact, he's preparing for what he believes could be the most dangerous version of Conor yet. That's exactly why Holloway remains so calm and confident. He knows beating McGregor at his very best would make this victory even more meaningful. For Holloway, this isn't about settling old scores. It's about proving he's ready for whatever version of McGregor steps into the octagon.
But man, Henry, talk about this headliner. Talk about the Mac Man is back, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of just counting him out. A lot of people are just going, yeah, he's gonna go out there and just get smoked. How are you feeling about that one?
He's gonna have to be patient with this fight. He's gonna have to be patient and really find that timing. With Max Holloway, bro, he's just gonna move, he's gonna punch. If Max plays the distance game a little bit and kicks Conor a little bit and gets him kind of the fatigue, he's in trouble, dude. So Conor really does have to be patient, maybe take a couple of shots to eventually counter him with that beautiful left. you know, what he did to Eddie Alvarez, and just catch him, dude. I would say be patient and counter, but it's 5 years, Kamaru. It's not 2 years. It's not 3 years. It's not 4 years. It's 5 years, man. But if anybody can get it done with power, it is Conor.
As excitement builds around McGregor's comeback, Kamaru Usman believes a relentless pressure fighter like Max Holloway. Patience and precision could be Conor's biggest weapons. Patience and precision could be directly into Holloway's game, while the right counter at the right moment could instantly change the fight. While the right counter isn't just about who hits the fight. Usman, according to Usman, Istal battle is long into real enough to create the perfect opening. According who stays composed.
What is your guys' pick for that, realistically, Holloway, McGregor?
Oh, dude,
And don't pick with emotion. I'm talking MMA math.
Dude, 170 pounds. You haven't fought in half a decade. If the fight was 3 rounds, I would think, God, the Conor's got a good chance. I mean, he may still have a good chance, but you're half a decade sitting out, and then you're going in there, Max Holloway, who's an expert at fighting 5 rounds, and he's 170 pounds. You're not going to knock him out easy.
The biggest debate surrounding this fight isn't whether McGregor still has knockout power. It's whether years away from elite competition can be overcome against one of the most active fighters on the planet. As more analysts weigh in, the conversation continues to split between a fascinating clash between relentless pace, setting up a fascinating clash between power and consistency.
And he's the most dynamic personality the sport's ever known.
And he was, for a time there, just such an unbelievable fighter. I mean, he was it was incredible what he was doing.
The Eddie Alvarez fight.
Oh yeah. I was there.
Example.
I was there. Well, thanks to you. With really good seats, thanks to you. But that was one of the best. That might be the best fight I've ever been to live, because that whole card was just stacked, and that as the main event was just unbelievable.
Bro, he was in the Matrix. He was in the Matrix. He was just in the zone. You know, Dana said it best. He's like, that kid eats pressure. He goes, he eats it.
Yeah.
Like, he thrives on pressure. Pressure that makes other people wilt.
Yes.
He, like, shines under that pressure.
And he had an amazing ability, even very early in his career, which was, like, kind of, it was really unique. Like, because even, like, on his first fight ever, if you watch his first fight in the UFC against, like, Brimage, I think the guy's name is, and he was a relatively unknown at the time. But dude, the place is going nuts. He already had made so much kind of like street cred for himself, and then the Irish thing, like the Irish were really, really into it. But he, from the very first fight, he would always create these moments where it's like, dude, this is going to be the biggest spectacle that my opponent, has ever been in their career. Like, I'm going to get you mad with shit talk, and I'm going to get the fans so excited, because he's completely comfortable there.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure if you're really comfortable.
Joe Rogan believes Conor McGregor has always been far more than just a great fighter. Long before becoming a 2-division champion, McGregor had an unmatched ability to turn every appearance into a worldwide spectacle. According to Rogan, his confidence, charisma, and incredible composure under pressure made him one of the biggest stars the UFC has ever produced. But UFC 329 represents a completely different test. After years away from elite competition, McGregor now has the chance to prove that the fearless competitor who once thrived on the sport's biggest stage is still capable of delivering another unforgettable performance.
3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
How do you foresee that fight, that rematch with Conor McGregor?
It's going to be a tremendous fight. I think that we now get to see 2 guys that are adults, right? The first time they fought, they were children. Max was a kid, Conor was a kid. These guys are going to be grown men fighting in what will be... It's hard to think that an event will get bigger after this, but every time Conor McGregor's here, it's bigger and it's better. The sport's better with this man in the fight game, so I'm excited. Before Conor went up to fight for that second championship, we were unwilling to go up. Everybody was afraid. George St. Pierre got offered multiple times to go fight Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva to fight John Jones. It was almost impossible. That's why you saw such long title runs. Then Conor McGregor said, it doesn't have to be the same. I can do something different. And now you're telling me a guy is going to go in 3 different weight classes? That's nuts. Because Cyril Gane never could weigh 185 pounds.
For Daniel Cormier, this rematch is nothing like the first meeting over a decade ago. Back then, both men were still developing into the fighters they would eventually become. Today, they're battle-tested veterans with championship experience and far more complete skill sets. Cormier also believes McGregor stretches far beyond this single fight. arguing that he changed the way fighters think about chasing greatness as slicing greatness across multiple weight classes. Whether fans support him or not, his influence on the sport is impossible to ignore.
You know, never say never. You know, I'm not a guy that wants to jump to conclusions. We're gonna go out there, do what we do, and we figure out after that. You know, if it's you know, I have history with the champion at 155. A lot of people are talking about, even though this fight being at 70, that the winner of our fight could go down and fight at 55. And then I see a lot of people talking about maybe the winner of this can even go and jump to see Islam. You know, so at the end of the day, I don't know. Get an exciting win, like we talked early, man. People are talking about the winner of this fight maybe fighting for the 155 title, maybe even fighting for the 170 title after. So all I gotta do is go out there, get my hand raised, and not only my hand raised, get my hand raised in an exciting fashion, and we see what the ball is gonna be in the UFC court. And
while most of the spotlight remains on Conor McGregor's highly anticipated return, Max Holloway is keeping his attention exactly where it belongs, on the fight itself. Although many believe a victory could earn him another title shot or even reshape his future across multiple weight classes, Holloway refuses to think that far ahead. In his mind, none of those opportunities matter unless he gets past one of the biggest stars in UFC history. Rather than making bold predictions, Holloway is focused on delivering an exciting performance and letting the UFC decide what comes next after the final bell.
Dan, and every time Conor McGregor's name is mixed in mixed martial arts in a good way, it's always great and huge for the sport. You know, he did a lot of, you got to give the man his flowers. He did a lot of great things for the sport. He did a lot of big things for the sport. So at the end of the day, he always got my respect in that sense. But the sad thing is that he has to see me come July 11th, and I'm the one, you know, welcoming him back to the octagon. So I'm excited.
Despite everything McGregor has accomplished, Holloway makes it clear there's still mutual respect between them. He openly credits Conor for helping elevate mixed martial arts to another level, but once the cage door closes, respect gives way to competition. Welcoming McGregor back to the octagon is one thing. Sending him home with another loss is the opportunity Holloway has been waiting years to receive.
That's not a big enough fight. It's not a big enough high for me to top what I just did at the White House. I'm done.
Oh, so really? So you're saying, hold on, come on. Let me pause you there. So, if Conor does lose, there could be a reason that Justin Gaethje says goodbye to the sport of MMA.
I mean, I'm not speaking for him. He's his own man, but
one of the biggest talking points leading into this rematch has been the decision to compete could dramatically affect both fighters. Not everyone agrees. Some veterans argue that once the fight begins, timing, decision-making that once the fight begins, time more than a few extra pounds on the scale. If that's true, the outcome may come to impose you down to Kinhooch their game plan first, the bigger frame.
One guy that had that same leg injury and spoke candidly about it is Chris Weidman. Hall of Famer, world champion, one of the GOATs. Chris Weidman is that good. And he's, man, I question that leg. I questioned, should I throw it for a kick? I questioned, can I take a kick? I questioned, can I push off it? I questioned, should I lead it or should I stash it behind me and switch my stance? So Conor's going to be dealing with those things. No matter what Superman Conor is, he's not.
Even if McGregor's body is fully healed, many believe the biggest battle may still be happening inside his mind. Returning from a devastating leg injury isn't just about physical recovery. Every kick, every movement, and every exchange becomes a mental fight. Every kick and every exchange becomes a mental test. And against an opponent like Holloway, even a moment of hesitation could make all the difference.
Lean towards Max Holloway for that fight?
Yeah, he's already saying it.
No. That's not what I'm saying. And they, by the way, they both been out for quite a while.
Right.
Of course, Conor has been out for a longer period of time. And Conor, we know he has a lot of money, and you know, he live on yacht. You see him on social media. However, this is only social media. Sometimes the reality is different. But I think it would be a great fight. I love both fighters. I love to watch them both. I'm a big fan of both. I think if Conor can put himself back into the grind and be hungry into that hell zone, that, you know, he has to see it in a way that my
Mystic Mac. We need Mystic Mac back, where he's just in
yeah. To see, like, like he's in the tunnel, but the light is after the fight. It's I have to go through that journey in order to see the light. But I'm not gonna put myself in the light until I'm done with the fight. That's if he put himself into that zone, we're gonna have.
Georges St-Pierre isn't ready to count Conor McGregor out just yet. In his view, the biggest question has never been about McGregor's talent or ability. It's whether he can rediscover the mindset that once made him one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history. GSP believes that if Conor can fully commit himself, block out every distraction, and return with the same hunger, discipline, and laser focus that defined the Mystic Mac era, this fight could unfold very differently than many expect. However, after such a long absence from elite competition, that version of McGregor remains the biggest mystery heading into UFC 329. Until the octagon door closes, no one truly knows if the old Conor is ready to return.
It's kind of hard to say. I would have to go with Max having that edge because he's been more active. Conor hasn't been active. They're fighting at 170, so that does give Conor an edge because he's fought at 170 before, and Conor hasn't. I mean, and Max hasn't. But we're gonna have to see.
I do think he wins. I do think there's a lot of questions about how McGregor, like his lifestyle outside the cage, you know, and then being able to train, being able to juggle everything, and again, like going back to what Marvin Hagler said back in the day, man, it's hard to get up and run whenever you're sleeping in silk pajamas, you know. So like, how much is he really going out there and training? How much is he really just putting up a show? We won't know until the fight, and I like my chances with Holloway. Again, he's been way more active. He's been in the gym. And especially even in his last fight, he didn't take much damage. So for me, I'm thinking it's more of a Holloway win. And again, also he's one of my favorite fighters. So I'm definitely.
As fight night draws closer, expert predictions remain sharply divided. Jamahal Hill believes this is one of the hardest matchups to call because both fighters bring significant advantages into the octagon. Holloway enters with the confidence that comes from staying active against elite competition, while McGregor has already proven he can perform effectively at 170 pounds, something Max has yet to experience. Adrian Yanez also leans toward Holloway, pointing to the consistency and momentum he's built over the past several years. He believes Holloway's recent activity, combined with the relatively low damage he's taken in recent fights, could become a major advantage if this contest reaches the later rounds. At the same time, lingering questions about McGregor's long layoff continue to divide opinion across the MMA world. Ultimately, many believe this fight will come down to whether McGregor's explosiveness can overcome Holloway's rhythm, conditioning, and non-stop pace over 5 rounds.
I swear. My head is everything here. My head is everything. Come, I hope this. Then I hope this. Bum, bum, bum. Okay? Bum, bum, bum. The fight is over here. The fight is over here. And then I want this head. Bum, bum, bum. From here. Bum, bum, bum. End the fight. Whatever. All day, all night. Why? His head is right here.
Actually, I like Conor. I think Conor will gonna win. Because this fight will be
170.
170, yeah, 170. Conor has more strength, more power, and for Holloway, I think he will slow down himself because his weight. He's big. He's not like a flex 145 that fast. So Conor got more power and knocked out power. And this fight definitely gonna be, stance fight, right? Striking. Yeah, both of them like strikers. So it's gonna be a good fight. But I think Conor will win. Yeah, more chance.
Interestingly, not every expert is backing Max Holloway. Some fighters believe the move to 170 pounds could actually play into Conor McGregor's hands. They argue that the extra weight allows McGregor to carry even more power, making his left hand an even greater threat. At the same time, they question whether Holloway can maintain his trademark speed and relentless pace while competing at a heavier weight. If Max slows down even slightly, it could create the opening McGregor needs to land the fight-changing shot he's famous for. That's exactly what keeps this matchup so unpredictable. With one side trusting Holloway's activity and the other believing in McGregor's power, the MMA world remains deeply divided just days before UFC 329. With just days remaining until UFC 329, the anticipation couldn't be any higher. Conor McGregor is attempting one of the most talked about comebacks in UFC history, determined to prove that the fighter who once dominated the sport's biggest stage is still capable of competing at the highest level. Standing in his way, however, is a very different Max Holloway, more experienced, more active, and more dangerous than ever before. Throughout this build-up, we've heard predictions from former champions, respected analysts, and elite fighters, yet one thing has remained consistent. Nobody truly knows what will happen once the octagon door closes. Will McGregor's legendary power and championship mindset deliver another unforgettable moment, or will Holloway's pace, durability, and relentless pressure finally earn him the revenge he's waited years to claim? That's the question the entire MMA world is waiting to have answered. Now we want to hear from you. Who walks out of UFC 329 with their hand raised? Conor McGregor or Max Holloway? Share your prediction in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest UFC news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.